Good morning, everyone. It's early morning here. I thought, Sermon on the Mount, Father, my brother, everyone else out there at Spirit World, what do you think? Good timing? Yes, yes, yes. We have a house full of guests. So this is a good time, before everybody gets up. This place, even though, right? So I'm in the next room and I have still some coughing. I always have some coughing going on, but so used to it now. And then the dogs barking and the roosters crowing and so on. How much? And our house is really open, so you can hear everybody breathe, snore, this and that. Go to the bathroom, whatever, okay? But yeah, I'm sitting out here on the porch and I just think, oh my gosh, people who come to visit here, what a just peaceful place. There's no road where cars are going by or other people are from, other houses, doing their thing, and there's nothing. It's just all nature. It's all nature and just the people who are here, right? So it just depends on what you want to be annoyed by, not getting the sleep that you may be getting in your own bed at home. Well, anyway, but sitting out here in early wee hours is just, so amazing. Well, I'd like to remind people again that we lived in the city, Berkeley, California, Bay Area, for 18 years before we packed up, took the risk, started a new life somewhere else here in the Kentucky mountains, built up these. Okay, I had a little bit of a different idea on I thought we were on the same page, but I wanted smaller homes, right? I thought kind of into the future on how are we going to take care of a big old house, when we're 80 years old or something, if we make it to that age. So, but it happened the way it did. Sometimes you just, right? Yes? So, the upkeep as you get older of a big place like this, it becomes more and more, and you realize, wow, all the work that you do when you're younger, actually, there are certain things that don't get into your house. Certain things that you don't have to worry about because you're constantly upkeeping this and that. Then you get older, you realize you're going to have to okay, that has to wait, this has to wait, right? And you realize, oh my gosh, wow, So, thinking ahead, when you're doing stuff like this, is a good thing. But again, hopefully another younger person, hopefully one of our children will eventually say, I love that life too. I want to do that. It took us some time too to get to that point. Can anybody do it? Hey, this country is so big. It's so big. And there's so many places you can go. If you're willing to live just with a little less, or, okay, I'm not going to be hooked up to this or that, so I'm going to do that and live according to, right, what nature has out there for you. Well, anyway, anybody can do it. Anyone can do it. Yet, why are people still living in cities where the crime is just going through the roof? And they're not willing to go anywhere. Why is that? I'm not getting it. Why are you still there? If you are a good person, why are you still there? Why do you want to be a part of that? Sometimes you have to just give it up. I don't know if you guys, at that time, I didn't have the revelation about the cussing and cursing yet, but I don't know if you guys remember the movies, Out of L.A. or Out of New York or something. Let's see, not L.A. Yeah, L.A. Where the whole city became a prison, and it just sent people there, and I said, okay, live or let live, live or die or something, And I don't know, it seems like, gosh, or is that kind of becoming a little bit of a reality in some states, in some cities, where the criminals are just taking over? And who's responsible for that? All right. Well, here's the thing. I just So I cautioned, and I always caution people, I'm not against the Second Amendment, but it's quite clear to me that the Second Amendment is being heavily abused, not just by criminals, and the excuses just stand. And one's willing to accept the collateral damage that goes with having the right to carry arms as a civilian. And, well, so be it. What am I going to do about it? But the thing is, if anyone wants to really a change, you're going to have to start saying no. I will not carry a gun. I won't. I could be killed by one, but I'm not going to kill anyone with a gun. I'm not going to do that. A gun has its purpose just like a knife. A knife's not here to kill people either. Right? Yeah. So a guy, someone had gave me this comment after I comment somewhere. Well, it's not guns who kill people. I said, yeah, you know what? Your dinner is not going to get cooked. Yeah. Without the cook either. I get that. I don't think anybody's dumb enough to not know that. And yet, what are you going to do with the utensils you have to cook with? You're going to do something good with it? Or are you going to... yes. To me, the number one thing is, you become an adult, you're grown up, you make all your own choices, free will, this, that. Yeah. Well, okay, you know what? I can't. What am I going to do? That's your life. You're going to do with it what you want. But the children can't choose like that. They don't have free will like that. And so many of them become collateral damage to people's violence out there. Not just the ones that are just downright criminals, beasts, monsters in this world. Somehow have no conscience. They can't think, but cannot think. One step in front of their own nose. Nothing. I mean, they just don't. And it isn't just, but they have, as I said, even there we come up with the excuses. Well, but they have a disease, or they have this, or they have that. Okay, all right, let me tell you, you can be gay. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't use that anymore. You can be, what's the word? A freak, a creek? No. Oh, I forgot the word. A queer. You can be a queer out there. I don't care. But I don't need to know what you're doing in your bedroom. And you know what? It grosses me out when I see two men. I just, no. I mean, it's every time. And the thing is, you can't hardly get away from it anymore. It's in the ads now. Okay? 2 women, 2 guys, and I'm going, oh, God, please. Really? I don't want to see that. I just don't. I'm sorry. So what you do in your own bedroom, that goes for heterosexuals too. You know, you're out there just about, walking in, and the guy just about groping you in whatever places, That's gross too. That's gross to me too. Gosh almighty, hello. I've made the video. Respect for my body. Go watch it. So what you do in your own bedroom, as long as it's not with children, then, and you're not abusing, again, okay, if you're adults and there's an abusive relationship going on in the bedroom, this, that, then the one party that's being abused, you're just going to have to be strong enough and say, I need to get away, okay? And not keep, I know how love is, where you just, you're so in love, this, and you want to believe in the other person. When it's, but I'm sorry, this and that. Come on now. Again, my support system to you is pack your bags and leave. I guarantee you, when you start thinking, I've got to get away, you will find a place to go. Anyway, your bedroom stuff, I don't want to know about it. As I said, as long as it's in your bedroom and both parties consent. But I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. Because again, I told you that. Anytime people do this, take your perverted ideas, this, that, out onto the street. There are suddenly others who say, well, I can do that too. I can come out of, how about I come out of the closet? People out there saying, I'm going to come out of the closet as a pedophile. I'm going to start wanting my rights to have sex with children. What do you think? That's the next step. It's already happening in California. Just saying, you see? Okay, so I have something here. So yeah, a gun. Guns? No, lay down your guns. It says right in the Bible. How many Christians out there are out there in the world? If all the Christians were to just say, no, I'm going to lay down. We're going to lay down our guns. We're going to make them into plowshares. We're going to start growing things. Well, you think, well, so yeah, well then, you're going to have to trust God a little bit. How many children could you save? How many children in this world could you save to at least grow to adulthood where then they can make their own choices? How many do you think? Take a stance against abortions. Take a stance, unnecessary abortions. Take a stance against, you love what? Pots and pans? You want to have sex with an animal? And I have to say, oh yeah, well, that's just your choice. Yeah. Really? Or many other things out there. You want me to just say yes to all of that? Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a stance. I believe in purity. I do. I wish that from now on, every child could stay a virgin until marriage. It's not even about that teenagers are, do whatever they want, especially in this country. But sadly enough, so many girls and boys don't even make it to 10 years old before they're not a virgin anymore. Are you guys thinking about things like that? Well, I do. How can that be stopped? By letting the excuses stand? Oh, a gun, but a gun without the evil person behind the gun. Well, how many people are behind the gun who aren't evil? And yet, children are still dying because of guns. All right. Well, you guys, you want to have your excuses to stand, so be it. Anyhow, Ecclesiastes 4, society. Then again, I contemplate all the oppression that is committed under the sun. Take, for instance, the tears of the oppressed. No one to comfort them. Who are the oppressed really? Who are the oppressed really around the world still? Who? There isn't an adult included in that. No one to comfort them. The power their oppressors wield. No one to comfort them. So rather than the living who still have lives to live, I congratulate the dead who have already met death. Oh, wow. Happier than both of these are those who are yet unborn and have not seen the evil things that are done under the sun. Absolute purity. I see that all effort and all achievement spring from mutual jealousy. Absolutely true. This too is futility and chasing after the wind. The fool folds his arms and eats his own flesh away. Better one handful of repose than 2 hands full of achievements to chase after the wind. And something else futile I observe under the sun. A person is quite alone, no child, no brother, and yet there is no end to his efforts. His eyes can never have their fill of riches. For whom, then do I work so hard and grudge myself pleasure? This too is futile, a sorry business. Better 2 than 1 alone, since thus their work is really rewarding. If one should fall, the other helps him up. But what of the person with no one to help him up when he falls? Again, if 2 sleep together, they keep warm. But how can anyone keep warm alone? Where 1 alone would be overcome, 2 will put up resistance, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better a youngster poor and wise than a monarch old and silly, who will no longer take advice, even though stepping from prison to the throne, even though born a beggar in that kingdom. Observe that all who live and move under the sun support the young newcomer who takes over. He takes his place at the head of innumerable subjects, but his successor will not think the more kindly of him for that. This too is futile and chasing after the wind. Someone always, when you're in certain situations, someone will always vie for your position. Yeah? That's what makes rich people so lonely, right? Who can you trust, really, when it comes down to it? Watch your step when you go to the house of God. Drawing near to listen is better than the offering of a sacrifice by fools, though they do not know that they are doing wrong. What did I just say? I said something about guns are... We should never accept children as collateral damage so that you can have a gun. We should never do that. But the excuses to not follow thou shalt not kill commandment of God, not amazing. It's like, wow, you guys have this really figured out, haven't you? Yeah. Watch your step when you go to the house of God. Let's leave that one more. Drawing near to listen is better than the offering of a sacrifice by fools, though they do not know what they are doing wrong. You know, I've seen a lot of people worship all kinds of different things and read up on it, that, and then, you know, okay, what do we still have in this world? I'm going, whoa, this is very interesting. Yeah? When people start searching, somehow they're not really searching for God and spirit world, for the principles of love and the principles of nature. They're not really searching for that. They're searching somehow for others to live their lives. That's a weird one to me. And I've seen that in the break-off of a couple of groups, in the belief, in the what I follow, what I learned out of the divine principle and true parents. To me, the most important thing there is not the divine principle per se, but the teaching is in it, right? And it's not the true parents, in a way either, or whatever. But the most important thing that I've learned out there is you're under the lineage of Satan. In the Garden of Eden, something was taken away from you as a human being. And you started living not according to God's laws anymore. You started living according to Satan's laws. And Satan's number one law is, teaching is, jealousy, greed. Those are definitely the two main. Now you attach jealousy and greed to anything out there that is considered evil, bad, wrong, and you realize, whoa, how much are we all a part of that? How much of a fool have we all become? Because we thought others had it all figured out. The number one thing for me is the blessing. The change from Satan's lineage to God's lineage. That's an amazing, wonderful thing that we can do here in this world for our ancestors and our descendants. Still a lot of restoration going to be going on. It's just how it is. Takes time, but I've seen in my life, in my family, on how that works. Yes? Well, I know best. I know exactly where it's all going. And it's going in an amazing direction. And that is that. Right? And then the future will tell. Not even God, not even our Heavenly Parent knows the future. Yeah, you can have a visionary kind of views, and if things don't change, but if things do change, right? And then it just depends which one's going to happen. Right? Yes? That really depends on us. Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to share this morning. I'm not a flip-flopper or this or that. That's not what I do. Sometimes I'm disappointed with some of the the videos that I watch of people that I do admire, that I do feel, yep, they have something to give. But the one thing they do is constantly, yeah, but I didn't mean, as I'm going, just take that stance. Why don't you just take that stance? Why that flip-flopping going on? Why keep supporting things that just aren't true anymore out there? Or kind of, I mean, I understand that, but, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I won't. I have it's not about having belief. I will not accept that children, because of your own selfishness, and I don't know what, you have to have this, and are suffering out there. I will not accept that. I will not accept children as collateral damage, and no one else should. And abortions are collateral damage of children. So the thing to do is, one teaches. No, you don't get to do that. No, that's not available anymore. Done. No, we don't need guns. We don't. To just, I'm going to be ready to shoot someone if they come at me. I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there carrying their guns now. They're just waiting for an opportunity, right? They're waiting for an opportunity. Oddly, most likely, they're not going to come across that opportunity. It doesn't work that way, kind of. Or they have a big mouth and they're just, not really going to, okay, all right, just say. Well, anyway, that's what I have to say this morning. Sermon on the Mount. Oh, does it always have to be all holy, holier than thou, and this and that, and I don't know what? I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, anywho, shouldn't be so hard. Start protecting every child out there, even if it isn't yours, right? Yes. God's love and blessings always. Talk to you all in another.